Hello, I'm Andrzej Ossowski and you're watching TVP World Talks, where every word matters. The World War II Volhynia Massacre, which saw tens of thousands of Poles murdered by Ukrainian nationalists, continues to cast a long shadow on the mutual relations between the two countries even today. A recent deal between President Volodymyr Zelensky and Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk could pave the way to the eventual resolution of this difficult issue. But is there a risk that domestic politics might still get in the way of things? Joining us now is Andrzej Ossowski, professor at the Pomeranian Medical University in Szczecin. Hello and welcome to TVP World.
Hello, good morning.
So first of all, let's summarize the latest developments. Is it really the case that right now the difficult issue of the exhumation of the victims of the massacre is going to be resolved and that Polish experts will be able to investigate specific areas in the Ukrainian territory?
Yes, we have first permission for first place, and I think next 2 months we will start our work in Ukraine.
And would you say that there are any practical difficulties, before we move on to the political dimension, when it comes to conducting this research?
As this case, it's of course very complicated in many positions. It's first problem. It's of course the problem with the politics side, and the second problem is a problem with the especially with this place. This place since 45, because this case started in 1945 when the Ukrainian nationalists destroyed the village Puzniki, small village, and they killed circa about 100 inhabitants. And this village does not exist. It was 200 homes, and now it's nothing there. Not even roads exist now.
So it's mostly about the search of the mortal remains of the victims, right? As you're saying, in many cases, the houses and public buildings in the villages and towns that they lived in may no longer exist or might have deteriorated as a result of neglect. But when it comes to the exhumations, are there any other issues which also need to be taken into account? To what extent do you think that the graves, for example, might no longer be there, or that the remains may not be recoverable as a result of the passage of time?
Of course, in many cases it will be like this, because we are not sure where they are buried, if they are buried even. Some of victims they are never been buried. In our case, we know many things about this case. We have information from the inhabitants. We have information from relatives of the victims, and we know that they collect bodies of the victims from different places from this village. They collect them and they bury them on the local cemetery. And 2 years ago we start our work and we find this grave, but it take us 4 months to find this grave. That in other places it will be like this, that we know that it will be a big problem to find these graves.
And when it comes to the political dimension, would you say that domestic politics in Poland and in Ukraine could still be an issue? Let's begin with Ukraine, shall we? Would you say that there are still people who believe that nothing ever happened in Volhynia, that was not any sort of ethnic cleansing or anything? People who still lionize members of the Ukrainian nationalist movement from the World War II era? And if so, do they still have enough voting power to be reckoned with by the mainstream Ukrainian leaders?
Well, I think it's very delicate tema in Ukraine. It's from one side, they have big problem with the political situation inside Ukraine. That's it will be a big problem for them that when we start this war. But from the other side, we need to make it. We need to find the victims because we need to bury our victims, and we need to identify them. It's some kind of human rights. We need to do this, and they need to understand it. And without it, it will be always the other side. The Russia will always use this problem to destroy our friendship between Poland and Ukraine. I think for Ukraine, it's more important to allow us to make this than to Poland. I think it's more important to Ukraine.
And this brings me to the recent debate in Polish domestic politics. Of course, as you said, this is a very important issue, and it should be raised during adequate situations, in adequate venues during meetings with Ukrainian leaders. But should there be an element of conditionality? I'm asking this question because there were politicians in Poland who suggested that before Ukraine resolves the issue, it should not be admitted to NATO, which of course right now is an issue quite separate of that because this NATO membership seems to be rather distant, but also should not be admitted to the European Union. Do you think that this conditionality is something that we should actually be introducing during the debate right here and right now?
I'm not sure if we should use this argument. I'm not sure. I'm a scientist. All my career is around the human rights and about the human identification. And I think we shouldn't use this argument. Of course, we need to make press on Ukraine. We should talk. We should find a solution to make our work. But I'm not sure if we should use this argument, and we shouldn't block Ukraine to go to NATO or to United Europe. I think it's not a good argument.
So do you think that the current situation, the fact that we have a common adversary, Russia, which is aggressive, which holds designs which some say reach far beyond Ukraine itself and may be actually belligerent in nature, also with respect to countries of Central and Eastern Europe, does this present a unique opportunity for Poland and Ukraine to, well, of course, not forget about the past, but to build a future in a way that has not been possible before and right now is possible because the political situation essentially brings us together?
Yes, I think, in my opinion, that this what's happened in Ukraine more than 18 years ago, it should be some kind of fundament to make new history for Poland and for Ukraine. If Ukraine allowed us and cooperate with us with this hard work for us and for Ukraine, if they allowed us and if we can identify our victims, I think it starts new history, and we can build new friendship between our countries and our nationalities.
Professor Andrzej Ossowski was our guest today here on TVP World. Thank you very much for joining us and for sharing your insight.
Thank you very much.
And I'm Jonasz Rewiński. You're watching TVP World. Please stay with us for more latest news and updates.